Hello and welcome to our prediction slash bold prediction episode for the 2026 season for our Chicago Cubs. Welcome back to Born into the Ivy. Clark and Addison, Born into the Ivy. We are David and Eli ready to talk about all things Cubs and opening day. How excited are you for opening day, Eli?
Very excited. Couldn't be any more excited. I'm ready to watch some regular season baseball.
Me too, buddy. Me too. On today's episode, we will talk about 5 bold predictions. We will have our NL Central predictions, and we will have a Nationals preview. But first, we're going to kick this off about PCA and his extension. How excited are you about that? And were you surprised this morning when that came out?
Well, I know last night they were talking about it.
I was asleep by then, I think.
Yeah. Last night they were talking about it. I was excited. But then I saw, I saw that it was going to be a long-term contract, which I was very excited to see.
So they still haven't announced terms, so that leads me to believe that they've kind of agreed to the framework, but nothing's 100% finalized yet. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I would guess. Well, what kind of extension do you think it is? Ish. We're guessing here.
Probably 7 to 8 years, 150 to 160 million.
Yeah. That's my guess too.
Maybe even 140 to 160.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that's too terribly far off. It puts them around 20 million a year, which I think I'm comfortable with. Are you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Obviously, hopefully, we're hoping Nico follows, not trying to take anything away from what PCA's got going right now. But man, if they can sign Nico to an extension and have Nico, Bregman, and Pete on this team for at least 5 years from now, and they can get some kind of agreement of an extension with Steele. I haven't even talked to you about that, but that literally just entered my head because I think he's got one more year of ARB time. So he's definitely with the Cubs through 27. After that, he would be possibly a free agent. I think Steele would be the next, along with Nico. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love, I'm not against Seiya coming back by any means.
It's just what we can get him for. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I just don't want to. I think if we lock in too long on Seiya, we have a lot of really good outfield prospects, and I know that they're not everybody's going to pan out. I get that, but you don't have to have everybody pan out. Like Alcantara has never been given a chance. We've talked about that some. And real quick, he was sent to Iowa. He's not going to be on the opening day roster. I think we both are disappointed by that. Agree?
Agreed.
Dylan Carlson was told that he is on the team. He and Scott Kingery. Kingery was not told he's on the team officially yet, but he is on the plane coming to Chicago. My takeaway from that, the way that council worded that, is that means if they find another guy that they like better for the infield as a backup and a bench guy, then they'll get him and he'll be on the opening day roster. I don't know who that might be at this point. It would depend on who gets cut, who has minor league opt-outs that the Cubs might like a lot. I really thought it might be Owen Miller instead of Scott Kingery. I don't have a problem with either of those two, to be honest. You know what I mean? I think that they're going to be like pinch run guys. I don't see a lot of playing time for either of them. I think most of the backup infield would come from Matt Shaw. Even with Matt playing right field a little more, I think that it makes more sense to have Shaw in the infield and Michael Conforto or Dylan Carlson in right at that point. than Scott Kingery at third base for Bregman, or you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't see a whole lot of substituting anybody for Bregman, Swanson, or Nico, to be honest.
Right.
Period.
Me neither.
Um, I think most of that would come in the form of right field and or left field. Really, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Um, not that Ian would like that very much, but that's my guess. Oh, I lost where I was. Okay, there we go. Sorry. Um, so we talked about Alcantara, Carlson. They said officially Conforto's on the team. He made the team. I don't. I mean, I get it. I still think that I would rather have Alcantara. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I did. The more I thought about it, the more I liked, or I thought it made sense because of his experience and everything else for Conforto to be on the team over Carlson. Um, but I would guess that even with if Sayat comes back in 7 to 8 days, I'm guessing Kingery is the first guy out at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Even I know that's a lot of outfield, but I just to me that makes more sense than Carlson. Carlson played much better overall in the spring, and I don't know. I mean, a lot can happen between now and then. God, I hope not, but somebody could get hurt again. So, um, you never know. You never know how that's going to play out. Did I miss anything with news and notes that we had talked about before? I don't think I did I?
No, you didn't.
Yeah. Oh, the over under for the Chicago Cubs on almost every betting platform I can find is 88.5. How do you feel about that?
I think they'll get more. I
I do
think
too.
that they'll get 95.
95?
I think they'll get 90.
Ooh, I hope so, buddy.
I think they'll get 95.
I sure hope so.
I'll
My
put that
my
bet in right now that the
my
Cubs get 95.
prediction record is not far from that,
Mm-hmm.
but it wasn't quite that high. Um, I like the over on 88.5 very much so. In fact, I like the over on almost anybody in the NL Central except the Cardinals, who are at 69.5, and I think that's far too much for them. But I think the Reds were 80.5. Or no, the Pirates were 80.5. I think the Reds were around that too. And the Brewers, who won 97 games last year. I get that they traded Freddie Peralta, but their over under was 84.5. That's 13 wins below. That's crazy, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I was surprised by that. So I like Durham on the over, but not by a ton. As you'll see soon. 5 bold predictions. Do you have 5 bold predictions, or you want me to go first, sir?
You go ahead and go first.
Me go first? All right. I've got to find them here real quick. Sorry. All right. Number 1. We'll go back and forth. How's that?
Okay.
I did not put these in any particular order. Did you?
I didn't even write one, but I can come up with 5.
All right. All right. I'll start with number 5 and we'll just go up. Ben Brown and his newfound pitches will not only have a successful season in 2026, but he will become an integral part of the Cubs in the future as well. I don't know if that's terribly bold, but
Mm-mm. I think Matt Shaw will hit over 250 this season.
okay.
I think that's pretty
Awesome.
bold.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Number 4, Pete Carroll Armstrong will be an all-star for the second straight season, but will back it up with a more complete season. I am not saying he will repeat last year's first half, but I don't think he has to do that in order to be an all-star again. If this guy can just hit well, if he ends up with the same kind of numbers that he had last year, this year, but it's a little more consistent throughout the year, I think he's still an all-star. I think he is still like he's so electric. I could see him voted in again, to be honest. You know what I mean? And then it's a moot point at that point. But I think Pete has a much more fluid season that I think he starts to settle down some. You know what I mean? And I don't mean that as far as the exuberance when things are going great and all that stuff. I think that still stays. But I think that he gets better with pitch selection and and recognizing when he is hot as hell and when he needs to work out of a slump. And I think Alex Bregman and Nico and Ian and those guys will all be instrumental in that, specifically Bregman. And helping him understanding and guiding him with all that. I think he is going to be huge for Pete and Matt Shaw this year. What do you got?
I think Cade Horton, I've said this before, I think Cade Horton's going to be a Cy Young candidate.
So I almost did something with Cade, and I decided not to because I thought you would. So I'm glad I didn't. You know what I mean?
I think he's going to be a top 3 pitcher in the NL.
Man, that would be so awesome. My only concern with it is thinking I don't know that they're going to give him enough runway to truly be that. But man, these last couple starts that he's had have been absolutely amazing. He only threw 68 pitches on Sunday.
I saw
in
that
6th inning game. Isn't that crazy? God, I love that guy. The Chicago
and I think
Cubs
all the 4 hits he had was in the 6th inning.
Yeah.
Or he had 3.
3 hits, 4 Ks, 3 walks,
He almost had a no-hitter.
I think.
And then, you know, the last inning got a little sketchy, but he got his way out of it.
I don't know how bold this is either, but I'm saying it anyway. The Chicago Cubs win over 90 games and have a top 10 offense. A lot of the arguments that I hear about against the offense for the team is that they have a lot of really good players, but there's no bona fide stud. My number one prediction will tell you who's going to be that stud this year, besides maybe Pete.
Oh, I was thinking of any Golden Gloves that might be a little bold.
Never mind. This is yours. I was shutting up.
Well, because you see, none of them. I mean, Dansby would be gold, but that's not very bold.
How many Gold Gloves you think the Cubs win as a team? Like counting all the players.
4.
I think that's bold to say that they would win almost half of all the Gold Gloves.
Dansby.
PCA, Nico, Dansby, and who else? Ian?
Ian, yeah.
That would be 5 years in a row for Ian.
I think it's possible. I think he can do it.
I don't disagree. As much crap as I give that guy, he has really transformed himself into an absolutely stud defender. Number 2, Daniel Palencia will be a lockdown closer for the entirety of the season and have an all-star season. He will be an all-star as well. What do you think? Too much?
No.
I do think he probably has given PCA $115 million. Cubs given PCA $115 million. Outfielder agrees to a 6-year extension with no club option. So they bought him out of 1 year of free agency. Not bad. That's just less than $20 million a year.
Okay. Michael Busch gets the Silver Slugger Award.
Nice.
I can see that happening.
I'm going to take that a step further. Michael Busch will be a top 10 MVP vote getter and will be the first Chicago Cubs left-handed hitter to hit 40 home runs at Wrigley Field
I was thinking
not
that.
over the course of the season
Uh-huh.
since Billy Williams in 1970.
I was thinking that. 40 home run mark for Michael Busch. Oh. That Nico finally gets a Silver Slugger award.
Awesome. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
So Nico would get the sweep, Gold Glove, and Silver Slugger.
Yes.
That would be fantastic.
Which should be MVP candidate, but they're not going to do that.
No,
Yeah.
he doesn't hit for enough power. Yeah.
So what? That's not the game.
I don't disagree with you. I'm just telling you that's why it would never happen. And I know you know that. I can see already,
Bryce Terang getting it over him, but
well, I mean, Bryce is a nice player. I hate that, but he's a really good player. NL Central predictions. My number 5 team will be the St. Louis Cardinals.
I'd have to agree with that. Or
I have them as
them.
I have them at 64 and 98. The next 4 teams I have are all over 500. Is my prediction. Number 4, I have the Pirates at 83 and 79.
I'd have to agree with that. I think the next 2 are going to get flip-flopped.
Number 3, I have the Milwaukee Brewers.
Dang it, nope, we're not flip-flopped.
85 and 77 I have.
I think the Reds are going to be pretty good this year.
And number 2, I have the Reds at 86 and 76. I don't know, but I wouldn't be shocked if the Cubs or the Central has 3 teams in the playoffs again. I think it's probably going to be 2, but it wouldn't shock me to see 3.
Mm-hmm.
The Cubs, number 1, at 93 and 69. I like your 95 better.
95 and 67.
I like it. Here, I thought you probably had the Brewers there.
No.
Man.
I have the Reds.
I told myself I wasn't going to pick the Brewers less than second. But I just think the Reds are
I think the
set
Reds
up
are
really
going to be
well.
a dominant team.
That pitching staff is excellent. And I think Suarez, although I don't like the overall contract, I think he can make a huge impact there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Our Nationals preview, the first preview of the season. On Thursday, we will have Matthew Boyd against Cade Cavalli. Don't sleep on Cade Cavalli, boys and girls. He has only had 12 starts in his major league career, but he's had a hell of a time staying healthy. If this kid can stay healthy, he's going to have a really good year. I don't know that you're going to miss Mackenzie Gore, but he will make them not miss him as much if he stays healthy.
Let me pause this.
Yeah.
Pico Armstrong signed 6 years, $115 million.
Did you not hear me say that earlier?
No. Huh.
Sorry, buddy.
Must have been cutting out a little bit.
That's what it sounds like. So hopefully this is getting through to everybody else. They have not announced projected starters for Saturday or Sunday for either team yet. I'm thinking it will be Cade Horton for the Cubs, and I would guess Zach Littell for the Nationals. To me, he's their second best starter. I'm hoping that they start Miles Michaelis on Sunday, but it would make sense to me for it to be Jake Irvin as their best starter. You know what I mean?
Michaelis is terrible against the Cubs.
He is terrible, and that's why I really hope that he pitches against us. But surely they're aware of his numbers against the Cubs too. You know what I mean? Um, that would be exciting. I would expect that Shaw starts in right field for opening day. You agree?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked if Conforto starts one of the 3 games. But I would think that Shaw would get the other 2 starts. So, obviously just speculation. I don't think that any of the rest of the lineup changes all that much. Have you seen in the last 2 spring training games, they've had PCA leading off?
I did.
Chances he leads off Thursday, you think?
Slim.
If he doesn't, is it Bush? Probably.
Yeah. Hold on. What's Cavalli? Is he
Right-hander.
Okay, yeah, Bush.
So I think it's about a 30% chance that Pete leads off.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I
don't
get
like
it. I don't like it either, ultimately, but I get it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't try to get on base. It's not that he's always trying to get on base. He doesn't walk enough, in my opinion, to put him
Right.
in that spot. At least not yet. You know what I mean?
That's why I think it's almost the most perfect spot for Nico. He has the best eye out of all the hitters on the Cubs.
I love Nico there, but the way he hits with mid on, I love him hitting it a little lower too because of that. I have zero issue wherever he's at because I think that his skill set plays anywhere. You know what I mean? This isn't a traditional preview or breakdown for the series because we just don't know enough yet. James Woods obviously will scare us off a little bit. CJ Abrams really good. They've got some good players. Lyle, he's a good young player that not a whole lot of people know about. Brady House he's the third baseman this year. I'll be interested in watching him play. He's got some talent too, and they got some others. So, but I do expect that the Cubs should win at least 2 of these 3 games, if not sweep. You agree?
100% agree.
I won't be disappointed if they don't sweep, but I would be very disappointed if they don't win the series.
Mm-hmm.
So, awesome. I will be back on Thursday morning. I'm going to talk about the ABS system and just to break it down for anybody who might be interested right before the season starts. For most teams, the Giants and Yankees start tomorrow night. I won't be breaking all that down like that, but we'll be back with that, or I'll be back on Thursday morning with that, and just saying, hey, let's go Cubs, and getting us hyped up a little bit more. Nope, no, I didn't do it right.
Go Cubs, go! Go Cubs, go! Go Cubs, go!
I messed that up drastically. Sorry, everybody. Everybody have a great day. Let's go Cubs.
Go Cubbies.